What's up, people? Hey, wanted to share some of this book with you I've been reading. It's by James Conner. You know, he's a professional football player. Uh, he played for the Pitt Panthers. He went on from Pitt to go to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's now an Arizona Cardinal. Uh, and he wrote a book. It's called Fear is a Choice. And I kind of just started the book. I ran across the book in a store. And so I had to buy it. We just love his story. So in his book here in chapter 1, he talks about how he actually got into playing football. And so I'm going to share that with you right now. These are his words out of his book. Fear is a Choice is the book called. Don't forget to like the video, message me about James Conner or your thoughts about his career, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share the video also. If it had been up to me, I would have stayed with basketball and nothing else. But my mom had a different idea. In 5th grade, she signed me up for football with the Milk Creek Youth Athletic Association to keep me out of trouble and to get my excess energy out because, let's be honest, the woman was trying to keep 5 boys from tearing the house down. I was incredibly nervous about learning a new sport and didn't want to play, but I toughed out the season, figuring that would make her happy and I'd never have to hit the gridiron again. Then the following season, she told me she was planning to sign me up for football once more. I don't want to play this year, I told her. I think you should, she replied. Nah. A week later, I found out she had signed me up anyway, and I was furious. Coach Keith Cashock would call the house, and if I recognized his number on caller ID, I just didn't answer the phone. I had no interest in football. Glenn and Michael played basketball all 4 years of high school, and I was convinced that was my game too. Only Rich had been a football player, and he was built a lot bigger than the rest of us. A huge, jacked offensive lineman. Finally, between Mom's insistence and the coach's persistent phone calls, I reluctantly agreed to play again, or more accurately, Mom dragged me to practice and made me get out on the field. I dreaded it. Football was so much more physically punishing than basketball, and there was a much higher chance of injury. I recall worrying myself sick before each game the previous season, and I had no interest in going through that again. I didn't admit it to my mom at that time, but that season ended up changing everything for me. There wasn't one big moment where I suddenly fell in love with the game, but the gridiron just grew on me, as if each grass stain and spot of mud on my uniform after a game also left a little imprint on my soul. As I started to understand the strategy of football more fully, I began to appreciate the nuances of the game in a different way. As my appreciation for the game grew, so did my body's natural response to it. I suddenly developed a spin move that made me almost untackleable. It wasn't anything I gave conscious thought to, but as I felt a guy grab me, my instincts took over. Suddenly I moved in such a way that his hands couldn't hold on to me, and I took off down the field. That was pretty cool, I thought as I ran the ball into the end zone after I made my first spin move. I need to try that again next time. Before I knew it, I began to love football. So once again, these are the words of James Conner. He is a professional football player, was a Division I football player at Pitt. He also played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and now he's with the Arizona Cardinals, and he just finished up with his second Pro Bowl season. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and message. I will be sharing more out of this book. Thanks for listening. Peace.